Alright, it's 4:56 p.m. I am approaching our property. Still walking in the street, and I've had no contact with anyone on the street since I've been walking from Centenary Boulevard. Looks like there is a car in the next door neighbor's driveway. The guy just came out and got into. Yeah, it looks like it's probably that black Mercedes. The guy, I think, comes and smokes pot with Fred on the ground floor next door. He's sitting over there idling in his car since I got about halfway down this block. I could see the blue of his shirt. Don't know him, I've never met him. See Pat and Ronnie's car parked next door next to their disabled little green mini SUV. There's my disabled red Durango at the foot of our stairwell. And there's 132. And that is parked in front of the blue SUV parked in front of 132. How did I know that guy was going to do that? Start backing out as soon as I turned in our driveway. Oh, it's not the Mercedes, that's the Chevy. Don't know that guy in that car. I have no idea who that is. See Pat and Ronnie's front door next door on the second floor is open. I guess I was on the porch. Susie and Brad are inside. There was a green and white pickup truck that drove past our driveway too. After I started walking up our driveway. Gizmo, what are you doing out here, Giz? You've been stuck out here, Gizmo. Okay, now, let me get my key. The door wasn't locked. Get back, Casey. Get back, Chris. No, you're not going out, doggy. I think that green and white truck that drove by after I turned into our driveway. Well, I get the waste again. Yep. Doggy poo and doggy pee everywhere. I have had no contact with anyone on East Boulevard Street today at all, including my son Jacob. This is the first time I've stepped foot on East Boulevard Street today. Walking home. And I have not been invited to participate or testify in any matter. I have never had any contact with anyone on East Boulevard Street, except for my son Jacob and my housemate Rowan, who for at least the last week has been vacant from this apartment since I called the cops. It was a Saturday night. I have not designated anyone to act as my representative in any way by accepting search warrants or speaking on my behalf or engaging in financial transactions. I've never been invited to participate or testify in any type of investigation or matter that would interest me and my son or involve us in any way. I have never spoken to Pat or Ronnie, who live on the second floor next door. I've never spoken to the woman who lives in 132 downstairs. And I've never spoken to Fred, who lives on the ground floor next door. The last time I spoke to Shante, who lives on the ground floor next door, was in January 2014 when I told her to stay away from me and my son and never to come to this apartment again. So that's what that was. That guy in that black four-door walked out to that black four-door that was parked over in Fred and Shante's driveway and sat in it and waited. I could see halfway up the block through the trees that guy walked out of Fred and Shante's apartment and sat in his black four-door, and he waited until I turned into my driveway on foot. You can watch the video and see I didn't go anywhere near him. I have no idea who he is. So, I don't involve myself with drug addicts or people who carry on like banshees under the influence of drugs and alcohol. It's not my thing, and it never has been. People have a right to live their lives the way they choose. Whether or not they go to jail for it is their issue. But I do not ever have anything to do with people like that because I have a child. My son's 13, and I would never involve him or expose him to people like that. So nobody on this street has ever had any contact with me and my son but our housemate Roland. And nobody has ever supervised me and Jake, and I have never designated anybody ever to act as my representative or speak for me or to speak as though they have authority over me and Jake. Nobody's ever supervised me and Jake with me. That's it. Sending people over to the homes of people that I don't know and have never met, delivering search warrants to them, telling them it's okay to monitor me and my son, giving them money to spend on me and my son that they have never spent. Nobody ever spends a dime on me and Jake but me. And I only get my money if I work a job and earn it. Earl's child support stopped, so he switched jobs. So that's how that ends. They're supposed to be garnishing his next job that he got. But I can tell I go through this all the time. And you can just, you see the same thing over and over again. It's unbelievable the extent that somebody's willing to go to do that to me and my son. There has to be a lot of money at stake, is all I can figure, but sure as hell I don't know where it's coming from. Taxpayers is all I can figure is some jackass with a badge running a kickback scheme by targeting helpless parents that are in bad situations or that are just easy targets, and using street trash gangs to falsify accusations against them, and going into a courtroom and having people swear for them and say they're witnesses and stuff, and avoiding prima facie evidence like audio and video recording, not just audio. And judicial oversight, in which all evidence gathered would be subject to judicial review by a judge before being accepted to the administrative record. So that's what it looks like to me. A bunch of dopeheads getting kickbacks that have never had anything to do with me and Jake at all. Jake and I have never invited a single person to East Boulevard Street. And Jake and I have never been to any other building on East Boulevard Street but this second floor apartment at 130 and a half East Boulevard. There is no other way to say that. Like I said, Jake and I have never had any contact with any of the people that live next door. Fred, Shante, Pat, and Ronnie, save the fact that I banned Shante from coming here in January 2014 because her behavior was so outrageous. So that's what it is. I'm not going to go begging people like that. They know better. They don't have anything to do with me and Jake. They got enough sense to know if they don't have any contact with me and Jake that they ought not to be doing that. And it's happened to us every place we've lived. And I'm not going to beg people that are being deceptive to tell me the truth because they're not capable of it. You don't take money or say that you're supervising somebody or spending money on them when you know that you're not. It's a lie. And if you're going to tell lies like that, then there's no reason to talk to you to begin with. And that's what I see going on here. So you wonder where your tax-paying dollars are going, Shreveport? Right down the ghetto, lining the pockets of straight trash dopeheads on drugs, staying drunk all day. I just got home. I left for work last night at, 10:09 when I walked out of this apartment last night. And I just got back here, 15 minutes ago. And I have had zero contact with anybody on East Boulevard Street today. That includes visitors to East Boulevard Street and people who live on East Boulevard Street. And there is no reason for anybody on East Boulevard Street to think that I have anything to do with them or that they have anything to do with me and my son and our business. Roland is the only person on this street that my son and I ever talked to, and to my knowledge, only me, Jake, and Roland have been in this apartment since the landlord came, I think 8 or 9 or 10 weeks. It was 8 to 10 weeks ago that he came and fixed the broken pipe, so that's the only other person that's been in this apartment for the last 8 to 10 weeks was the landlord when he fixed the pipes. So, you're getting blood out of a turnip, whoever you are. More power to you, asshole. And you go to jail for it, and you just have to sit next to Fred and Shantae and Pat and Ronnie and Roland and Eva. Yay for you. I'm sure that's going to be a lot of fun for you.